Okay, so let's move on now into the stab bass, and as you can see, I've got this loaded up. It's an adapted preset that I've found from the Juno 6, which again, beautiful synthesizer, a real classic for bass and utilized by a lot of really top level artists, including probably most famously the likes of Nils Frahm, but again all over melodic techno productions as well. So I've got this really lovely stabby, really plucky style bass with a bit of a delay on, which you'll be able to hear right now. So yeah, I've adapted this preset from its original form. And again, you can tell that's the case by the little asterisk icon here. And what I've done is I've just changed up some of the oscillators here. And again, I turned off the square wave here because it was just making it grunt a little bit too much for my taste. And I've added a little bit of white noise here, just used a little bit of low pass here, but again the envelope control is the thing that really gives me the pluck, as well as the main envelope here as well. So again, just to reiterate here, again this preset was quite close to what I wanted, and then I've augmented it again very easily using Analog Lab, and then added the delay in. The delay is not coming from the actual synth itself, it is coming from the actual plugins here, or the pedals here, in this nice layered view. So again, I can open things up here, and we've got a real starting point now in terms of the bass, where we can bring the envelope amount down, which really helps start it off nice and round. And that can also be without the filter cutoff. So again, if we add the filter cutoff in, you've got that little bit of movement there as well, which is really nice. So what we can do now is actually move into the macro controls here, and we can look at which macro is controlling which elements. So what we might be able to do here is actually, you've got, you know, LFOs going on here, and what you might be able to do here is actually, say for example, delete each one here and actually make that movement into something quite different. And we can click learn here, and then everything goes purple, very akin to what happens in Ableton and various DAWs now when you're into a MIDI learn mode, for example. And what I can do is that I can maybe go to the envelope amount here, and I can click on that, and that movement control, that movement macro, is now gonna give me that ability to change and evolve the envelope control. So I can have more or less envelope here, and then the brightness will allow me to work with the filter cutoff. So again, I could actually map these to the same macro, but I want a little bit of flexibility. Now what that allows me to do as well, just moving Analog Lab to the side here and actually taking things down a step, we can hit configure in Ableton, we can click on brightness, and we can click on movement, and then take configure off, which then means that we've got both of these macros as fully automatable controls within the context of Ableton. And it means that we can do full automation lanes and passes, and we can not only draw in automation into our full track, we can also actually tweak with MIDI controllers and get full control of that element as well. So very nice indeed. So again, we've got the full control here now of that stab bass, which makes it really expressive. And one thing you'll notice all the way through this course so far is how easily manipulable a lot of these sounds are in the context of an overall production. So we've got the ability to change the shape of shakers and congas and this respace and this stab bass. So things are going to constantly morph and expand and contract, which again, in a fairly minimalist genre like melodic house and techno, where, you know, there's actually not huge amounts of elements going on, they need that space to expand and contract. And this is what Analog Lab really does give you in a really, really beautiful way. So we're going to move on now into the next video. And then in our next video, we're going to be looking at the pads.